Hello and welcome back to Uncle Matt's Workbench. This will be the Nagamaki polishing video part 2. I apologize for the sound of the washer and dryer. I'm not at home alone today and laundry's being done. So anyway, I just wanted to show that I have polished both sides now up to 320. But if you see the black marks all over this blade, what I've done here is I've looked for the minor scratches that go the wrong direction and colored them all with a black marker. This allows me to see where the problem areas are, and my thinking here is I'm going to go back to each one of these spots where I've colored in with marker, and when I sand off the marker in this area, when all that black is gone, the scratches underneath it should also be gone. And then I can move on to the next grit. Yeah, I've got it marked out on both sides, and it looks like I've got a whole lot of spots that are black, but the scratches that are there, they're really minor. I just want them to disappear before I move on to the finer grits. And I've also colored in that area with the pitting. The reason I've done that is because using 220, going back to 220, in those areas only, I was able to remove a lot of that pitting that I didn't think I'd be able to get rid of. So I'm gonna revisit those areas just manually by hand, not with the stone, with the sandpaper, and see how far I can go with that. Probably can't go too much further because I have noticed that I'm losing some edge. The edge is starting to disappear there, so I can't do too much more in that area. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to 320 at this point and just start sanding away at those black areas. Okay, so I've got the blade polished on both sides up to 400 grit. The hamon shows up really well now, and you can see that that pitting I had is almost gone. It's minimal. I don't think I can get it out any more than that, because I was starting to lose edge metal, but using the 220 paper on the wooden block and then the 320 actually reduced that quite a bit. There is some minor scratching on this side, but that's because of laying on this piece of masonite at 400 grit polish while I polished this side. So from this point on, I'm going to have to lay some cloth down on the table to protect this blade from any more scratching. Other than that, this blade is like 99.9% scratch free. All of the old grinder marks and file marks and heavy grit marks that were in it, those are all gone. The only scratching in here is just very minimal, just from sitting on this masonite, which those are going to come out real easy in the next grit. But so I'm going to go 600 grit next, and then on to 1500 grit, see how that looks, and then I'll probably be ready to etch it at that point. And also from this point on, I will no longer be using the back and forth motion because that creates little hook-shaped scratches I don't want to see in the final grit. I'll just be doing long, slow strokes beginning from the tang to the tip on each side to keep all the scratches going the same direction. So here I'm starting with 600 grit, and I will be using this PB Blaster as a lubricant and using nice long even strokes. It actually gets a lot easier from this point on because all of the major scratches are gone, and I'm just removing the marks left by the previous grits. And here we have both sides polished up to 1500 grit. It's almost a mirror shine, not quite. It's a little streaky right now, but that's because of the wiping it with this rag. It is leaving streaks. Still got the PB Blaster all over it. But it's looking very nice. This is as far as I go with the sanding. I only have one step left, and that would be to etch this in vinegar and then clean off those oxides that will leave behind. But I'm not going to be able to do that today. So there will be a part 3. So please check back in a few days, maybe next weekend. I'm not sure when I'm going to get a chance to do that. It's just a matter of not having enough time in a day, or even having a day to do this sort of thing at all. I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of the Nagamaki polishing. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.